In last video, we have discussed about Mars in the 10th house of the horoscope and what are the effects when you have Mars in the 10th house. Today, we are going to talk about what happens when you have Jupiter in the 10th house of the horoscope. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazadi. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic Astrology. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You will be getting Vedic astrological videos just like this one. And these videos will help you grow further, faster into Vedic astrological studies. If you have any question, add me on Instagram at Pramanik Astrology. You can also add your questions into the comment section of the relevant YouTube videos. I read all the comments and I try to reply to almost all the comments. Before we talk about the Jupiter in the 10th house as a combination, let us understand what is Jupiter. Jupiter is the positivity in the life. Jupiter is all that is good in life and it is the polar opposite of the Saturn. Jupiter is all about optimism, wisdom, faith, higher belief, counseling, teaching, success, surplus, income, gains. All that is positive can be seen with the Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of teachers and guru. Jupiter is also the planet of your values, your character, your morals, honesty, knowledge, teachers. All these can be seen with Jupiter. Now this Jupiter comes into the 10th house of the horoscope. What is 10th house? 10th house is one of the Kendra houses. What are the Kendra houses? Kendra houses are the foundation of your horoscope. When you have more and more planet into the Kendra houses, it gives strong foundation to your horoscope. That's why we give importance to the planets into the ascendant or into the 4th house, 7th house or the 10th house. 10th house is the strongest of the Kendra houses. 10th house also represents your highest material achievement in this lifetime. Your life journey started at the 1st house and now you have come to the 10th house. 10th house is the house of your work, your career, and more so about your achievements. You are often identified by your deeds. You are what you do. You are known by your profession. That's why your karmas determine who you are. And now Jupiter is here into the 10th house. Apart from being the Kendra house, that is the foundational strongest house of the horoscope, it is also one of the Upachaya house. What is Upachaya house? Upachaya literally means the house which grows with time. It is the house of constant improvement. House number 3, 6, 10 and 11 are the Upachaya houses. So when you have planets into these houses, these planets tend to give better results as the time passes. So initially you may not have the good results of the planets, the houses ruled by those planets, but it does great as the time passes. So malefics into the 3rd house, 6th house, 10th house, 11th house does great job. The energy of the malefics get the direction into the 10th house or any Upachaya house for that matter, and it helps that person to constantly improving. 10th house is also the house of your father. 4th house is the house of your mother. 7th places away from the 4th house, that is the partner of the mother, is your father. 10th house is the house of your father. 10th house also represents your public life. Kendra houses are associated with the direction. The 1st house ascendant is the sign at the eastern horizon, and 7th house is the western horizon, and 4th and 10th are not north and south. These are the Netar and the Zenith. Netar is the placed just below your feet, and zenith is the sky just above your head. So this is 10th house, and the place below your feet is the 4th house. Okay, now 10th house is an open sky. It gives you the visibility. 10th house is about the fame, success, status, authority, career, work. All these can be seen with the 10th house. Now let us look at what happens when you have the most benefic Jupiter coming into the 10th house of the horoscope. The planet of positivity comes into the house of work and career. It makes these people successful in their sphere of profession. These people are respected in their profession. These people have huge gains from their profession. The planet of success and abundance comes into the 10th house of work. So these people are widely successful in their sphere of profession. They are widely known for their professional expertise in their peers. So they are always considered as successful in their career. They can be in any career. They can be film stars, they can be astrologers, they can be scientists, they can be anybody, but their peers will always give them respect and will always consider them as one of the successful messenger of whatever profession they're following. The planet of abundance and expansion comes into the 10th house of the public life. So these people inspire others because Jupiter's inherent nature is of higher belief, optimism, and faith, to think about the positive side of the life. Now, when the person has the Jupiter in the 10th house, what it does is it makes the person expand. So his image gets expanded. So he is known as I won't say guru, but he is known as a mentor for the masses. He is known as a teacher to a lot of people in a public speaking. So he will always talk about how to get successful with the element of Jupiter. We talked about the same thing about the Mars and how Mars can inspire others, but the inspiration of Mars is more of an action oriented, like Tony Robbins or Gary Vee. But this is the guy who is having the Jupiterian qualities. Now that person, the person with the Jupiter in the 10th house, will inspire you, and this inspiration won't be an hard hitting and action oriented, but more so it will be of the wise advice. So it will be an intelligent advice to how to be successful in the profession or business or whatever he is teaching. He is widely known as the teacher. The planet of the optimism and positivity comes into the house of the authority, work, and father, and all the most important house. So this makes this person optimistic. In general, the person with the Jupiter in the 10th house tend to be optimistic. Okay, but these readings get altered if you have conjunctions, if you have aspects, if you have the exchange, if this Jupiter is involved into some negative yogas like Arishta yogas or involved into the superior Raj yogas, things will change decimally from 10 to 100, from 100 to 1, depending upon what kind of involvement this Jupiter is in with all other planets. So don't just jump to the conclusion that, wow, Jupiter is doing great here. But Jupiter feels uncomfortable into the 10th house. Why? The planet of higher belief and all the finest qualities is coming into the reality, is coming into the world of competition. is coming into the cutthroat competition where nobody cares about others. And this really disturbs the Jupiter. He doesn't like that. He has the idea of positivity in the life. So he doesn't like the idea of putting others down or some politics into the work area. So he is not much into these things, and that's what really frustrates the person, because Jupiter is about the higher belief, optimism, and everything beyond this realm. And 10th house is the most practical house, because in the Kalapurush Kundali, the 10th house is ruled by the Capricorn, which is the most practical sign. And that is the reason Jupiter gets debilitated into the sign of Capricorn, because Capricorn is materialistic sign. The Capricorn sign cannot understand the higher belief, wisdom, spirituality, things beyond this realm like God, religion, spirit. No, Capricorn likes to work and likes to pay the bills, and they keep doing it and they become rich, but they don't understand the things which usually Jupiter talks about. That's why Jupiter gets debilitated into the sign of Capricorn. And 10th house has the energy of the Capricorn. And that's why Jupiter feels uncomfortable here. Okay. From the 10th house, Jupiter aspects the three houses. Jupiter has three special aspects. Jupiter can aspect 5 places from itself, 7 places from itself, and the 9th places from wherever it is placed in. And we have to count the house it is placed in. Now let us count. From the 10th house, Jupiter will aspect the second house of the horoscope with its 5th aspect. 10th house, 11th house, 12th house, ascendant, and the second house. So, what is the second house? Second house is all about your speech, is about the finances, about the things which you value. And when Jupiter is aspecting the second house of the horoscope, it is blessing the second house with the abundance, positivity, and optimism, and all that is Jupiterian qualities. So, what it shows is the person with the Jupiter in the 10th house is going to get the financial gains from their profession. More so, it is also going to bring in the positivity and optimism, faith, and spirituality aspect to their speech. So, whenever this person will speak, he will have the conviction, he will have the optimism, and he will always talk about the highest good and the greatest growth of the humanity, because all the Jupiterian qualities are getting imposed onto the second house of your speech. From the 10th house, Jupiter aspects the 4th house of the horoscope. Now, every planet is going to aspect the 4th house, and whenever it aspects the 4th house, it is going to impact the relationship with your mother, and more so, it is also going to impact the relationship of mother father. Your relationship with your parents is going to underline due to this placement of 80 planets into the 10th house, because now it is connecting the 10th house with the 4th house with its own element. Like if Mars is into the 10th house aspecting the 4th house, will bring the element of argument. For Venus it will bring the love, for Moon it will bring in the feelings, for Sun it will be the self-esteem and the realization of the soul or self-awareness, all these things. So each planet is connecting these two Kendra houses with their own element. Now it's time for Jupiter to connect these two houses. So the planet of positivity is aspecting the 4th house of the horoscope. So the mother of this person is positive person, and she installs positivity and spiritual and religious education, and this positivity helps him to become who he is today. Okay. From the 10th house, Jupiter also aspects the 6th house of the horoscope. What is 6th house? What is 6th house? 6th house is the house of dates. delays, divorce, arguments, dates, serving the people. Your pets can also be seen with the sixth house. Now, the planet of the wisdom, of the positivity, is aspecting the sixth house. More so, sixth house and the second house are also the Artha Trikona houses along with the 10th house. So it is going to bring in money. So the Jupiter into the Artha Trikona brings in money. So now it is aspecting the sixth house and it will impact your cash inflow. It will increase the money coming in. It will increase and impact your daily routines, the sixth house things, your job, and it will bring in that positivity. It can also avoid the arguments with this aspect, or you will be benefited with the arguments as well. And you will have a tendency to help those who are underprivileged or to help the pets. All these can be seen with this placement. Next, what if this Jupiter is debilitated? When Jupiter gets debilitated into the 10th house, the first thing you have to look for is check the Rashi of the Jupiter into the D9 chart. If the Jupiter has the same Rashi as in D1, it gets Vargottama, and which kind of cancels the debilitation. Or look for the D9 Rashi. If it is Sagittarius, Cancer, or Pisces, or Capricorn, for the Vargottama case we talked about. So you have to check if Jupiter is into any of these Rashis, because it cancels the debilitation. Okay, but if Jupiter is not in any of these Rashis, you also have to check for the cancellation in your chart. I have made a separate video on the cancellation of the debilitated planets. I highly recommend go and watch the Neecha Bhanga Raj Yoga video to see how to check the cancellation of the debilitation. So you have to check for the cancellation of the debilitation for the Jupiter. Okay, but when Jupiter gets debilitated into the 10th house, it rules the 9th house and the 12th house. So it brings in the element of the 12th house and the 9th house, that is the foreign things, into the work area. So if this Jupiter is getting the cancellation, it can also give you the gains from the foreign lands, from your work. Okay, and what if the Jupiter is exalted? If Jupiter is exalted, you have to do the same thing. Check the Rashi of the Jupiter into the D9 chart. If it is into the debilitation, this will, reduce the impact of the exaltation. When Jupiter gets exalted into the 10th house, it in fact rules the 3rd house and the 6th house. And both these houses are the houses of Upachaya houses, of the Upachaya category. So when you have exalted Jupiter into the 10th house, it will perform better as the time goes. Okay, but you also have to look for the other factors as well, like conjunction and aspects, exchange, yogas, and more so also the lord of the sign Jupiter placed in. For debilitation, look for the Saturn, and for the exaltation, look for the moon. We have not talked about nakshatra. You also have to consider the nakshatras as well, and you can go on. And all this is always have to be checked on the background of Vimshottari Mahadasha. Otherwise, it has no meaning. Okay, so yes, this was Jupiter, as much as I could hold, grasp, and share with you guys. If you are starting into Vedic astrology, what to watch next? Go and watch how to get started into Vedic astrology. Go and watch Planets Through Houses series, Ascendant or Rising Signs playlist, or just go to my YouTube channel, go to the playlist section and start exploring the fascinating world of Vedic astrology. Sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibrations. See you in the next videos. Love and peace.